Making sure that you have insurance needs covered is a very important part of planning for small businesses. We commissioned a survey relatively recently around these sorts of areas and found that over 1 million small businesses don't have adequate business insurance. In fact, 73% are unaware of the law around insurance and the implications for businesses. Naturally, most small businesses tend to focus on those things that makes their business successful. And that's understandable, and typically insurance falls to the bottom of the priority list. Businesses that employ people are required to have employee liability cover. In fact, by law, if you employ people, you are required to have insurance worth a minimum of £5 million. Failure to have that can cost a small business pretty hefty fines for every day they go without it. Our research shows that 23% of small businesses don't understand the significance of employee liability cover. In fact, we estimate 50,000 small businesses are currently facing risks of daily fines of £2,500 by employing seasonal or part-time employees without the right kind of employee liability cover.
A lot of smaller businesses aren't actually doing an awful lot when it comes to their insurance. A lot of smaller businesses, clearly one-man bands or only 2 or 3 employees, time is tight, the focus is on making the business a success, working very hard, working long hours in a lot of cases. They know they need insurance. Insurance is on their priority list, but it sometimes just gets overlooked. And what we found is up to 1 million smaller businesses might not have adequate insurance. And also, perhaps more concerning, there are large numbers of businesses, as many as 3/4 of the smaller businesses in the UK, who are at the moment not complying with the law when it comes to employee liability insurance. That's very, very serious. That there are sizable fines up to £2,500 a day for companies that don't have that type of cover. It's serious stuff, and it's something that all smaller businesses need to be aware of. Aside from the compulsory employee liability cover, smaller businesses may well want to look at another important type of insurance, which is public liability, which insures them against claims from the public if something goes wrong. Those are the 2 main types of cover that all businesses should think about first. Then it comes down to, it depends on what type of business you are. If you own the business premises that you work from, then you probably need to be looking at buildings cover as you would if you owned your own house in the domestic market. And then you also, for certain types of businesses, maybe retail, shops, pubs, you want to be looking at stock cover just to ensure that side of your business. If you're a professional giving advice to the public, you might want to look at professional liability cover, which ensures the advice that you give. And then you've got the worst case scenario insurance. We saw recently with the devastating flooding in Gloucestershire that sometimes things happen out of the blue. They can put businesses out of operation for long periods of time. Businesses need to think about preparing for that worst case scenario, maybe something like business interruption insurance, which would help them in the event of their premises becoming flooded or some other event that you simply can't plan for. And likewise, there's also key man cover, which is perhaps something maybe a restaurant would need to look at. If you've got a really good chef, which is absolutely key to your business, if he or she is struck down by illness or an accident or something like that, that would cover you for that eventuality, which again is something that perhaps the business owner might not think about, but which is quite possible and could have a major impact on the operation of the business day to day. One of the biggest issues for any small business looking at buying insurance or thinking about insurance is time. We know that they do think about insurance. They obviously know that they need certain types of insurance in the same way they know they need domestic insurance. But if you're working hard as a small business, maybe just yourself or 2 or 3 employees or a few more, time is always tight. You're working hard to make the business a success. You're working hard to build the business. Insurance is on the list, but sometimes it just slips into the next week or the next month. So time is very tight for them. But also one of the other issues that smaller businesses are facing is where they buy their insurance. At the moment, the market is largely dominated by brokers, and the feedback we've had from smaller businesses is they're not getting the service that they need from the brokers. Brokers tend to want to focus more on the more complex insurances, on the bigger businesses where premiums and of course commissions are bigger. And this was something we found from our own research was an area where we felt smaller businesses were not getting the service they needed. They were telling us this was an important area for them, but that if your time is pressed in the business, it was something that was often slipping through the net. This is an area where we felt we could make a real difference to smaller businesses, where we could offer them a service that they absolutely needed, and that frankly they weren't getting from the brokers that they were contacting. We feel the business insurance market has been very slow to adopt to the online world. Millions of people buy their life insurance, their car insurance, their buildings insurance online now in the domestic market. But that isn't the feedback we've been getting from smaller businesses. A lot of them are telling us they would love to be able to buy it online, but there just isn't the service there that they want. Different businesses need different levels of cover, and the model that we've developed online enables them to effectively take control of what their insurance needs are. What we're doing with our online model, insurance for business, is that we are offering them a choice. They will get the list of which insurers have quoted for them, what that quote is, what the cover will be, and it's entirely up to them from that point onwards which of those they choose. One of the most important things about the online model we've developed is it's very, very quick and it's very, very simple. Getting the cover that you need for your business is something you can do in one visit to the website. Within 5 minutes you can have the quote, within 10 minutes you can be covered, you can be signed up, you can have paid, and it's all taken care of for another year, allowing businesses time to focus on running their business. And that's the whole point of this. It's very straightforward, it's completely transparent, so they can have a look. They can take as much time over it as they want. They may want to make an instant decision based on it's the best price, or it's a name, it's a well-known insurer that they know. They may want to have a look at it, they may want to consider their options, they may want to customise the cover some more and maybe perhaps take a little bit more public liability or opt for increased cover in another area which is specific to their business. It's entirely up to them. The great thing about it is that they're in control of it, very much as you are in the domestic market. But this is the only online model of its type available to the business market, and we're convinced it's going to help more and more people buy online every year. First thing any smaller business should do is just take a few minutes to think about their business, carry out a little risk assessment of what their business does and perhaps what the major issues could be, and just work out if there are any gaps there that absolutely need to be covered off. Once you've done that, you can log on to our website, insurance-for-business.co.uk, and start the process. It's a very quick process. It will enable you to list the types of cover that you want, tell us what type of business you are, and from there we begin the process of getting you the quote and hopefully getting you the insurance that you need. The initial feedback we've had from smaller businesses has been very, very positive. We think this online business is going to make a big difference to smaller businesses. It's quick, it's easy, it enables them to get the insurance that they need without having to spend a lot of time on the phone.